This episode is brought to you by Blue Sky CBD. Okay, I don't think I've gotten a full night's sleep since I became a mom, which is like over 4 years now. And I feel like I've tried everything, but none of it worked. You know what did? Blue Sky CBD. I love Blue Sky CBD because each gel contains 25 milligrams of CBD and 25 milligrams of CBN and 0 THC. Check out Blue Sky CBD's Sleep Gel 4-pack sampler for just $6 or their 10-pack sample for $20 at bluesky-cbd.com. Oh, and you can use promo code CityCastDenver to get 30% off your order. Just go to bluesky-cbd.com. Today on CityCast Denver, it's election day. Denverites are voting, but how are they making these big decisions? Who's influencing who? And what's the price? Me and producer Paul Caroli are joined by one of our favorite guests to talk about how political campaigns are adapting, plus dig into the $50 million plan to rearrange Civic Center Park. Today is Tuesday, November 4th. I'm Bree Davies, and here's what Denver's talking about. Hi, Paul.
Hey, good morning.
And editor of Westward, Patty Calhoun, is here with us. Hi, Patty.
Hi. Great to be here.
Before we get started, actually, this weaves into a conversation we're going to have. Let's start with some news involving us today a little bit. A listener posted something on Twitter about our recent conversation with Senator Michael Bennet. Paul, do you want to?
Yeah, I want to just show you this, Patty, and I'll turn on the sound, and we can all just think about what this is. So this is a post on X.
From the Bennett campaign.
Listen, the median family cost of a single family house in Colorado is $650,000. The cost of childcare in Colorado is $20,000 on average. That is a disgrace. We are the fifth most expensive state in America to buy a single family house. We are the fourth, I think, most expensive state in America to buy childcare. That is a fucking disgrace.
You recognize that audio from anywhere, Patty?
I do. That was the CityCast audio with complete with profanity, which I have carefully never used in front of this mic.
Thank you for that.
That cannot be true. That cannot be true.
In front of the mic. It through the wall, yes, because we are right next to my office. But no, never on this mic.
But yes, this is our interview with Colorado's senior senator
Michael Bennet
and frontrunner for governor Michael Bennet. And then here the tweet is, this is a disgrace. Blah blah blah. We can't color inside the lines. Blah blah blah. No attribution of where this audio has come from.
Oh, that's the issue. I didn't get that far.
Yeah,
that's weird.
What do you think about that? Is that weird? Because a listener flagged us to this and they were like, hey, isn't this unethical?
Hey, well, I'm all miscontext. So the fact is, you should know where someone said something. It should have said, CityCast, whatever it was last week when you talked to him. Of course, you say where an excerpt comes from. You say where a review comes from if it's in print. You say where a TV commercial comes from. Yeah, you've got to say it.
And there's no context for the questions.
We don't know what he's responding to there. And then also in the clip, there are questions we asked him. We followed up that they have been edited out of his post.
And the post does include the word that I'm not going to say right now, which is also interesting.
Yeah.
But no, of course, context is important. Now, you would have an argument not just with not having CityCast getting the credit, but also if it were really taken out of context. It seems to me that statement probably is what he said exactly as he said it, and no one's going to argue this is a very expensive state. So that makes sense, but not to say it was on CityCast is strange.
And perhaps if you had the link to the interview, you might hear the rest of his comments.
Well, what you would want.
Affordability. You'd want to hear, why he thinks these things.
Because otherwise he could have just been saying that at his kitchen table and his children running for cover.
Yeah. I think the context thing is interesting. It's a norm, though, There's no police on the internet. That's the thing. There's no one enforcing this stuff. It's a norm. You have these whippersnapper news influencers, politics influencers like Michael Bennet coming up here, maybe not following the rules that have been established on the internet for a long time.
Or they just
maybe aren't super familiar. Or just made a mistake, which is the actual truth.
Plenty of people, your ads, print ads, political, have to say who paid for it, what's the campaign. So you do need that. It could just be they screwed up, but it's weird because it has more impact when you show it was actually said on, I would say, a legitimate media outlet.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And Paul, you reached out. I mean, because we've worked with his office to set up this interview. And previous interviews, they're not strangers, I guess.
No, not at all. It's actually kind of funny. It's such a small town. It's such a small world. The person who is the Bennett campaign just hired to do PR is, her name is Jordan Fuja, who politics watchers
Johnston's
will know
office.
is Mike Johnston's former spokesperson.
And he's been coming on our show every couple of months.
Jordan's the person I've been working with
up.
over there since he was campaigning. She has an interesting story too, but that's not part of it. She just said it was a mistake and an oversight. She intends to go and edit and attribute us. And she says she didn't intentionally remove our voices to take away the attribution. She just needed to cut it down to fit a time frame. And then I asked her why this clip with the cursing, because as I speculated last week, I think he thinks this is his greatest strength. When
cursing?
When the mild-mannered, his formerly mild-mannered demeanor, like people know him as like mild-mannered Michael Bennett. When he curses, I think people are like, whoa. And I think he's recognized.
I mean, we were like, whoa in the room when he said that to you.
Yeah. And so Jordan says, I think this clip shows his passion for the issue of affordability. That was the quote.
Does get interesting issue, though. Are you still not allowed to use profanity, the 7 dirty words? I mean, we stay away from them on PBS.
On Elon Musk's X.com? You can use 7 dirty words and worse.
I'm talking about broadcast.
Oh, yeah. Well, what is broadcast?
Well,
what does
that
mean?
is a
Are we
very
under
good
FCC?
Well, that's a good question now. And really, frankly, does PBS care anymore? They're not getting any funding. What's the FCC going to do? But
yeah, they
point.
can just.
It is such a crazy world. I mean, and I can't help but notice that Michael Bennett. This has come out. This tweet has come out a week after him and Joe Neguse made this big statement opposing the Next Star Tegna merger in the defense of local news and in defense of journalists.
Hey, we're those people.
Yeah. Hey,
give
what's
us
up?
a little credit. Thanks. Well, this is part of this bigger conversation, I think, which is this election, how social media is being used by campaigns. So there was a story, Denverite did this story on the Vibrant Bond campaign is paying influencers to say nice things about the bond package. What I found interesting was several people sent me one of these posts, not realizing that it was paid for or that it was
interesting.
I know, because I talked to my husband about it. He just said, oh, you got to watch this post. I love this guy. I didn't know he was in Denver doing Denver stuff. It's this guy, Good Trouble. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then, of course, I scroll and I'm like, oh, he's getting paid to do it. And it doesn't negate what they're doing. I just don't think that that's as obvious to, like we were talking about this earlier, Paul. You're just like doom scrolling. You're not necessarily registering.
Yeah. You're in a fugue state. You're on your couch. Your
I maybe
eyes
wouldn't
are
have
red.
noticed.
It's 2 a.m.
This is very much in this guy's wheelhouse of content. So it was just like anything else he'd be posting.
I would argue that also, when you are an influencer, you are supposed to reveal if you're being paid.
And
if you are accepting something in exchange. So that should have happened. I got a couple of these and I immediately texted back and I said, are you an influencer? Are you being paid for this? I'm a journalist. Do not do this.
Did you get answers?
I got 2 people who said they weren't being paid, but immediately then deleted. So I don't know.
They deleted their posts or they deleted the communication?
They deleted the communication to me.
Oh, interesting. I think what has actually happened here, the actual core new thing here is that a lot of eyeballs. I mean, this is what we're talking about is attention merchants.
Right.
I read a great book by Tim Wu, who worked for the Biden administration, about how the internet has changed media. Like, it's not a news story. We're attention merchants. We make money in this industry by attracting people's eyeballs onto content that has ads next to it. Or we convince people to pay and become membership. So the eyeballs, that's where the power is. The attention is the thing that is valuable and matters. And what has happened in the last 10 years is all of the eyeballs have very rapidly switched from things like newspapers and things like TV shows to Instagram apps. And the people that are best at Instagram are 22-year-olds who have no sense of this legacy and history and the pitfalls that all of the predecessors have fallen into when they've made mistakes that are unethical, that there's been blowback to.
But we also don't know how much using Instagram will translate into someone actually filling out a ballot and going. So that's the disconnect we don't know about yet.
I also think that's going to be one of the big things we might see in this election in particular, and maybe in the future, because we were talking about this full disclosure, one of our regular commentators, Justine Sandoval, is running for House District 5. She's running against an influencer. And I was actually talking to another influencer about that, and he was questioning.
King.
Yeah, and I was talking to another influencer, and he was like, it will be interesting to see, can you translate that to votes? Because your online audience isn't necessarily the same audience that's voting in House District 5, right?
There was a race in Arizona. I met with Raina for coffee and talked to her about this and had this same conversation. She doesn't know either
Sure.
how many of these people are going to be translating. But there was
if
I may, there was a race in Arizona where a very popular influencer, someone with like hundreds of thousands of followers, ran against a super establishment Democrat, the daughter of a longtime beloved congressman. And so this influencer who had a mass, I think it was even millions of followers. I wish I remembered her name. She ran in this primary. She got cooked.
Really?
She got destroyed. Not even close to the numbers that she was putting up on social media turned out to vote for her. Not even close.
Well, interesting. Equal time, and I don't know if that is a podcast affected by equal time. If you've Justine on,
This is
do you
another
have to have
FCC mandate.
Right? Do you have to have her competitor on? That's interesting. And I can't believe I didn't bring my phone in because I forgot when I said, you are texting a journalist, one of these influencers. Are you the Patty Calhoun who's on CityCast? It wasn't Westward. It was CityCast.
Not the founder
That's crazy.
It was
City's
really
only
great.
alternative
And then
weekly
when I said
newspaper.
yes, that's when I got deleted.
Influencer's choice.
Influencer's
for local
choice.
news.
That's right.
I love that.
I wanted to read a quote from this Megan Burns, a digital brand strategist, quoted in the Denverite piece. To me, it's not just paying for a TV spot. Social media has essentially become TV with DMs, right? I don't know if that's really what it's just become. I feel like that's kind of oversimplifying how much social media is now changing the way that voters interact with information and the way journalists are involved in it and influencers. And I don't know.
And it's also skipping an important part, which is it's much more like a volunteer walking into your house and saying something because you know who the volunteer is, you know where they're coming from. Here, you still don't know necessarily. And I think that's really important. The ads, the TV things, you know who is putting those ads up.
In some cases, I mean, sometimes it's these dark money groups.
Yeah.
Well, the dark money groups is a different issue, but the ads still have to say they're from the dark money group. You just don't know who the dark money group is beyond the name of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we could easily be seeing influencers with posts that go up that say paid for by, friends
but they're not
of
even
the
saying
greater
that,
future.
which would be okay. I'd be okay with that because as journalists, your job is to go find out who are the dark money groups. And if you're a citizen who hates, the dark money groups, your job is to fight them. So you want as much transparency as possible, but still legally, you have to disclose that there is a dark money group and the name of it, paying for that ad.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, do we want to get into what we know about the influencer economy?
I do think this is interesting.
Okay.
CityCast happens to be, investing in some marketing here in the Denver market. This is a nationwide company. If you're not familiar with us, we're in other cities as well. We're just the Denver operation. So the marketing team is investing money, and some of that is influencers. If you go to our Instagram profile right now, not only will you see great content from us, a person we hired
featuring us
to do social media to make it look great, and it does. But you also see some reposts from influencers that we hired, and you can look at their follower counts, and you can see, and you can surmise how much we spent on this kind of thing. But I asked our marketing team, is this worth it? Like, what's the cost benefit here? So she told me that for influencers with 1,000 to 10,000 followers, you're paying between $10 and $100 per post.
Okay.
And that goes all the way up to the mega influencers. The tiers are funny too. There's nano influencers, micro, mid-tier, macro, mega influencers. And those mega influencers with more than 1 million followers, you're paying up to $10,000 or more per post.
I'm guessing you aren't.
I want to know.
You don't think so?
Are you using them is what I'm saying, those mega?
we're not.
We're
No,
using,
no.
Well, I pulled one of the Vibrant Denver people. The one I saw was Mile High and Hungry, who's a local food influencer. She has 214,000 followers. That puts her in the mid-tier. So at the top end of the mid-tier, she'd probably be getting like $4,000, $4,500 per post. Her post got 21 comments and 9 shares.
That doesn't feel
not
like a
great
good
for her.
ROI there.
Not great for her.
And not to make you guys, not to say you aren't newbies at this, but we did it too. We've used influencers when we were doing events. They did disclose for ticket giveaways and things like that. We haven't been doing like Out to Brunch and Tacolandia, both of which we didn't do this year, but we've used them in the past when they've got when they really have the same kind of food audience, for example.
You know why? It works. This is what people are paying attention
if
to.
you target it correctly, it works. I think the election is going to be really telling.
Well, it's like anything else. I mean, you do a billboard ad. It's about product market fit. You want to like meet people where they are, have a great, compelling message. The influencer should have a good relationship with their people. That's what you're paying for, is them to vouch for your thing. So
you make a reservation, do you vote? I mean, that's what you've got to figure out with the disconnect. But no, I think it's interesting.
It is super interesting.
As long as you disclose that you are being paid for that and you're not the best friend of the person you're texting.
I don't know if that's always clear, though. It's still, I don't know. This is such an interesting turn for me as someone who's been in and on social media since like the Friendster days when it was pre-algorithm. I did not see this coming, I guess. I was very surprised. But it makes sense when we talk about where do people get most of their news? It's TikTok.
It's where the eyeballs are.
Yes. So
and the frustration
why wouldn't politicians go there?
You can't really click through easily to the story because we put up, of course we use Instagram and TikTok.
They don't make it easy for you to leave their app.
They don't make it easy. And so you're not getting the whole story, but at least if you want it, you know where you can get it.
Yeah, that's the frustrating part, I think, for those of us on the other end of it that are writing the pieces, doing the research, doing the interviews. Does the person ever get there? I don't know. They might have just got the too long didn't read version from the influencer. And
we'll be talking about that later. Alternative Weeklies. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Do you want to plug your thing now? Go ahead.
So the Denver Press Club building is turning 100 this year, and they've been doing a variety of programs. It's open. You can go. It's at 1330 Tremont. But anyway, we're doing a Consider the Alternative. So Alternative News Weekly veterans in Denver. We're just kind of an open mic Thursday from 6 to 8, reception maybe at 5. Anyone's welcome, but Kara DeGette, who was the independent Indies in Colorado Springs, she was their editor for a long time. Fran Zankowski, who was the publisher of the Independent and also of the Boulder Weekly, rest in peace, 2 publications. They're going to do the open mic with me. Everyone's welcome to come talk. Bree, you've done alt weeklies.
I did.
Amazing the people
Long time.
who've done alt weeklies in this town and across the country. So it'll be a fun opportunity to talk about free journalism.
Yeah. I mean,
and how journalism has changed.
I'm a dyed-in-the-wool alt weekly. That's the journalism I first learned about, I think, and made me so interested in being a journalist. It was the Village Voice.
It did so much for investigation, also in how you tell a story, the style. You see it across mainstream media, too, now that narrative is important.
Totally influenced.
You might use profanity like a certain senator.
Well, that sounds super fun. We'll put a link to it in the show notes at the Denver Press Club Thursday night.
6 to 8-ish.
It's 1330 Glenarm.
Oh, Glenarm, thank you.
This episode is brought to you by MultiPass. Listen, I lived through the era of the total Ticketmaster takeover. Wildly high service fees, big clunky websites, bots, scammers, Pearl Jam suing them. You know, the pains of ticket buying. But it doesn't have to be this way. MultiPass is here. This wonderful, local, community-minded ticketing and events platform offers benefits to not just the people putting on great shows, but the people who want to go to those great shows. Proudly based in Denver and deeply rooted in the local event and creative scene, MultiPass offers a promoter dashboard to boost attendance with built-in tools to add street teams and track performance. They also have revenue sharing tools, which automatically splits ticket revenue between producers, performers, and promoters, meaning no more complicated payout hassles. For customers, MultiPass offers more than just a place to buy tickets. Its unique community chat feature unlocks once you RSVP. That means you can connect with other like-minded fans for meetups at shows, events, parties, club nights, and more. MultiPass is designed to help everyone in the event ecosystem win, not just the platform. Learn more at multipass.com. That's multipass.com.
This episode is brought to you by Denver Film, because movie lovers across the city are getting hyped. It's almost time for Denver's biggest celebration of cinema, and you don't want to miss it. I'm talking red carpets, celebs, Hollywood moguls, exclusive parties and VIP events, and you can be a part of it. Honestly, I've always had a great time at Denver Film Fest. Not only do they bring out so many good movies that you can just show up to basically a random theater on a Tuesday night on a whim and see something interesting, but you also have a chance to dress up nice, go out to a packed screening of one of the year's best. Because they always bring the best. The Film Fest returns for its 48th year, running from October 31st to November 9th. They're featuring over 200 of the world's best new films, as well as all kinds of other great events. Choose your adventure and get tickets at denverfilm.org. That's denverfilm.org.
Patty, we want to talk about something that actually you wrote recently about the future of Civic Center. Can you give us a sort of shortened version of what you were talking about in this piece? We've been talking about Civic Center
for a long time.
A long time.
You know, we realized how much Civic Center has been the heart of this city when we didn't have it. During COVID, it was shut down for a while. Now it's been reopened. It's where you have the Cinco de Mayo party. It's where you have 420. It is really a gathering place. And with Colorado coming up on its 150th anniversary, I think it's important that you have a place where people can gather again. But unfortunately, the city of Denver is planning on closing most of Civic Center, if not all, really starting almost momentarily because Chris Kendall Market's already moved out, so that they can do this big $50 million renovation that involves reversing the Greek amphitheater, working on some walkways, changing some of the flower gardens. And this came out a year ago after lots of talking about the next 100 years for Civic Center. And some people were in favor of it. A lot of people were appalled by the reversal of the Greek amphitheater. I'll leave that to the historians and the architects, but I'm saying, why can't we postpone it for at least a year, save the $50,000 or bank it for now?
$50 million?
$50 million, thank you. I'm not good at my numbers or addresses today. $50 million, bank it, and keep that Civic Center open, which looks great
for
right
celebration.
Now. For celebrations, for having these events, bringing people downtown. If you want to get people to 16th Street, how about bringing them to an event? And then they might go down because they might want lunch, or they might have parked their car there, or they might need a drink. But there's so many reasons to go downtown. And I'll tell you, because it will soon be in our paper, I just got quite a letter from someone who works at Civic Center Park and in Parks and Rec saying, yeah, no one talked to us about this. We hate this.
Whoa.
From the Parks and Rec Department.
Parks and Rec Department.
About
He
the
said,
construction?
quit listening to the higher ups. We hate this.
Well, yeah. I
Now,
bet they
what
were.
I haven't been able to do, just like really with TikTok, you can't really figure out exactly how many people are with this guy, but
Yeah. So, I saw Kevin Flynn made some similar comments. Councilman Kevin Flynn made some similar comments about this project recently. I think to Business Den, he was like, why are they turning Civic Center into an amusement park? And you know what I thought? I love amusement parks. And then it reminded me of
then
what
go to
something.
well, then put Elitch Gardens there.
Let
Good
me
luck,
finish.
buddy.
Let me finish. I reminded me also of something Wellington Webb, former mayor, said about growth and change and optimism for the future. He said, You know what is great about DIA? It's always under construction. It's always getting better. Go to a city where there's no construction on the airport and you see a city that is dying. This is progress right now. If these people think that Civic Center is going to get better with this redesign, personally, I think the amphitheater flip around, I saw the design renderings. I think that looks great. That would be a way comfortable place to see a concert. I've seen Millennium Park in Chicago does concerts out by the Bean. Gorgeous. They get like 10,000 people there.
We have no venues.
We
have
have
you
no
seen
good
a concert
venues
in Civic Center so far?
I have seen some concerts. I saw Los Mocochetes from our theme song play at the Outside Festival 2 years ago. And
Which
it
will
was
have to be somewhere else next
terrible.
year.
It was terrible. They need an amphitheater for an event like that. The sound quality was crap.
I will tell you there are easier ways to fix it, and promoters around town would tell you that too.
Well, promoters, reach out. We want to hear from you. What would you do?
Patty, remember when Hancock wanted to do something to City Park? And I feel like it was a similar situation of like, why are you trying to turn this into an amusement park when it's a perfectly fine functioning park?
Right, it's happened. And in fact, it's happened with Civic Center before. I ran into Kevin Flynn where we discovered we had a twin obsession at the opening of 16th Street. We started talking about this. And at one point, he reported on this when he was a Rocky Mountain News reporter. There was a plan to dig under Civic Center, put parking there, and then put stuff on top of it. He reported on it back in the early 80s.
And this is something you didn't like? Parking under the park? This sounds like right up your alley.
There was plenty of parking at that time downtown.
I've got my parking places, not in that park.
Can you please write that article? What are your favorite places to park? What
Okay,
are the
I will
primo
tell-
You're gonna
I
spots?
will do that.
people?
But anyway,
people.
this actually gets into the downtown Development Authority, which is $30 million of that would go to the Civic Center project. The rest would have to be raised. And they have to expand the boundaries of the DDA
Again?
to do it. Well, they've already expanded it, but it had to be made official in order to include Civic Center.
Okay.
This is outside of the McNichols project, which I don't want to shock you. I do like the McNichols project.
The
I think we need
restaurant idea.
Yeah, the
I like
$7
that
million.
too.
I like the store and studios for artists. I like the museum on the second floor. That's $7 million. That can be done without having to do the rest of the Civic Center project. I'm just like, why not allow Cinco de Mayo there next year? Why not postpone it?
Yeah, I mean, postponing it a year makes sense to me. I just don't think this needs to be done personally. There's plenty of music venues across the city, indoor, outdoor, unique. We are a city of music venues. I've been to many events there. I think it functions perfectly fine. I think if anything, it would be just continuing the cutting out of traffic around it would make it better, which they've been slowly sort of doing. But I don't know. I'm with you, Patty. I think at least waiting. At least wait. Yeah. Let us have that space to celebrate.
And unlike, Mayor Webb, we do not need nonstop construction in Denver.
I know,
it is tricky enough on Colfax. Can we just give one part of the city a break?
No, but don't you see his point, though? Like, isn't it worse to have nothing? Like, isn't it worse?
That feels like it's like
Buffalo,
all or
Not if
nothing
the
on either
nothing is
side.
functional.
Why can't it be
know.
somewhere in the middle? I'm with you, Patty. I'm tired of it.
Change is inevitable.
I would like everyone to call
suck.
up Paul and talk about how much you love all the construction at DIA right now and the lack of signage about which direction you have to go in.
And I'm sure you love the construction on Colfax and the never-ending construction.
It's fine.
I'm going to put a
I
parking
know
lot
that there's
in
a
your
light at the end of the
backyard.
tunnel.
Is there?
It's getting better. Yeah, the BRT is going to be great. And same with the airport. I think the new airport design is phenomenal, except for the staff who have been denied a special access point to go through security, which does seem like a big problem. But I think the DIA construction is
Paul,
great. They've done a great
back.
job.
Let's remember what the first plan to redo DIA was that was approved. Filovio, the Spanish company, 2017, that basically was going to turn the terminal into a giant shopping mall. And people complained enough that changed. I think complaining about big changes to improve them and make them more what you need is good. And maybe that's what Civic Center needs, a pause and a real discussion.
I agree. I like the complainers. I like having the discussion about it. And I think it's nice that we get to do it here. And I want to hear from listeners. I want to know what listeners think.
I also just want to say I don't want to lump BRT in with DIA because that's not fair. BRT is working to create better transit opportunities, not continue to work on something that to me is perfectly fine. There's never a time when it's not. I totally disagree with Wellington Webb. I think it's one of the most annoying things about Denver is that we can't stop improving ourselves because we don't love ourselves enough to look at who we are.
This is every city with a booming economy has growth and change.
Is our economy booming?
I know. I was like,
so this is going back to the build our way out of
This
a
is the
not good
point.
economy.
It's to make an investment in the future to provide the infrastructure for new businesses to thrive. You go down Colfax, you see buses that take forever. They're late. They're terrible. These businesses struggle. They are. If the businesses know, they know that if they can hold on, that there are good times coming.
Again, I think you need to differentiate between projects, and I think an involved citizenry does. Is a new stadium for the Broncos a good idea? Is a new soccer stadium a good idea? Is the BRT a good idea? Is Civic Center a good idea? We can divide those and talk about them. You don't give a rubber stamp to everything without considering, are they really thinking about what the future will be like?
And this always goes back to the same problem that I think Denver has is we just do not like to look at ourselves and think that we're pretty okay as we are. We're always trying to attract new people, new vision. We don't want to just be like, you know what? We're pretty cool. We actually like ourselves. And I think that it's kind of sad that we're constantly pouring money into things that like maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking about the folks that were just laid off. I'd be a little annoyed that I know that these are not the same pots of money. We have to be realistic about it, but it does feel weird when we're constantly improving things that don't seem to be needed to be improved. And I have friends that are being furloughed who have families, just sucks. That's all. That's my opinion is just, I think
it sucks.
My opinion is, I think that we try too hard to impress other people instead of just looking at ourselves and realizing what a great city we are.
And my opinion is we have to look at each project, figure out it doesn't make sense for the future. Is it really where Denver needs to go?
This episode is brought to you by Cozy Earth. I love Cozy Earth. I especially love my bamboo pajama set because if I could wear it to work, I would. It's so comfortable. I might be wearing it right now. You don't even know. It's made from viscose, from bamboo, meaning it's softer than cotton and even has a little bit of stretch to it. These PJs are awesome because they're lightweight and perfect for any season, but they make you feel fancy. That's what I love about Cozy Earth. I feel fancy. They're luxurious. They're like butter. Just like my Cozy Earth sheets and my family's personal fave, which I'll have to pry from my 4-year-old's hands, the Bubble Cuddle Blanket. And listen, I know buying stuff online can be a gamble sometimes because you can't try before you buy. But don't fret. Cozy Earth offers a 100-night sleep trial, so you can try out their amazing products, and if you don't love them, return them, hassle-free. But trust me, I don't think you'll want to. And now, it's the perfect time to buy because Black Friday has come early at Cozy Earth. Right now, you could stack my code CozyDenver on top of their site-wide sale, giving you up to 40% off in savings. And these deals won't last, so start your holiday shopping today. And don't forget to use my code CozyDenver. And if you get a post-purchase survey, be sure to mention you heard about Cozy Earth right here on CityCast Denver. Just go to CozyEarth.com.
Before you go, Patty, I have to do this with you. I thought of this 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I need to know what Patty thinks about this. Because we got listener questions and comments. That's how we end the show on Tuesday. But we got a really interesting one in response to a conversation, Brie, you and I had last week about if Denver was a house.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with this right now. Because people are like, for years, they were like, Union Station is Denver's living room. And then the head of the ballpark GID told me the other day, she was like, we want ballpark to be Denver's front porch. And I was like, okay. And then the mayor was like, the pavilions is going to be Denver's game room, which is hilarious to me. And then, okay, so here's the comment, and then I want to hear your take. So you advising on the CityCast Denver subreddit, responded, some good things happening on that subreddit soon, said they had Englewood is Denver's ADU, hilarious. Sloan's Lake is Denver's water bottle that we left in the car for a few months, but still has a little water in it, and you should take it and wash it, but you are kind of afraid to open it, so you just continue to ignore it.
I got one of those in my car right now.
I just threw out one from my mother's car.
Amazing. And Lakeside is Denver's dangerous old trampoline in your cousin's backyard.
Oh, God, poor Lakeside.
Do you have one, Patty?
Oh, I'm trying to think. I would say Centennial is Denver's Olive Garden.
Oh, amazing. Why? Say more.
Consistent, you're going to get a lot for your dollar, and you might be able to get refills.
And they love
my mother happens to live in Centennial.
Oh,
Sorry, Mom.
It's on your mind. No,
I was driving up from I-20.
Honestly, when I want to
today.
escape, that's where me and my friend Keith Garcia go. We go to Olive Garden. We go to Outback.
It's
we go
reliable.
up to Park Meadows. We go, you get out of the city.
I would say Denver is the country's backyard.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's where people
of
come.
Where to go to have
recreation
some fun.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe it's more like the back porch in front of the backyard. Because we're not quite in the mountains. People come here as the staging area to do the recreation.
Now, you leave the backyard inspires you to go out and do other things.
I guess that's true. We're mixing metaphors now.
The
country is not the house. The country is the neighborhood. Denver is the house.
Boulder is Denver's pot-smoking basement room.
See, I said Glendale was your friend's dad's garage where he lets you smoke weed and get drunk.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, that's pretty
okay.
good.
Boulder
really good.
is your grandfather's library where he keeps the old sherry and you're not allowed to go in.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
I
good.
like that a lot. Okay, listeners, keep them coming. I know you got more in you. It makes me laugh.
Patty, thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
See you, Patty. See you next time.
We always love to hear from you. Give us a call, 720-500-5418. You can text us or leave us a voicemail about anything that we've talked about on any of the last shows over almost 5 years. Again, that number is 720-500-5418. That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed this show, why not take a minute to tell influencer Good Trouble about us? Rate the show wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to our morning newsletter and learn more about us at denver.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. See you later.